Nino, we got a big time game, man. This is Overreaction Live. We're going to do some previewing. This may be sneaky. Now, I know everybody's talking about that real rivalry, and they got a right to. It's a couple other sneaky good games that Ohio State and Maryland is going to be a damn good game. But this one may take top building because of how identical they are. I am the governor of college football, also known as Lever KT. With me today, this guy's been hot with his takes lately. The mayor of college football, that is Nino Brown. Nino, what's happening?
It's time. Like Bruce Buffer would say. It's time. I think this is going to be the one we're going to be talking about for a couple weeks because this is going to be the one that's going to make or break one of these fellas.
I would have to agree. And one of these teams have had a favorable schedule and will continue to have a favorable schedule. They're able to win this one. That would be very important. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame travel to Louisville, Kentucky to take on the red-hot 5-0 Cardinals in a game with big implications. Louisville has been beating opponents with supreme balance offensively and winning by an average score of 32-17, 11th in the nation in total offense and 37th in the nation in total defense. Let's talk about Notre Dame. There is one more person on the field from possibly being undefeated, outscoring opponents by an average of 37-13, 11th in the nation in total defense. The Fighting Irish hopes aren't completely out because of their strength of schedule, but let's be honest here. They're not going to be playing in the conference championship. That ultimately means that they will have to run the table and may need some help. He needs some milk. Yes, Notre Dame may need some help. And that starts with beating Louisville. Nino, what have you seen from this Fighting Irish team so far this season?
Get that boy some milk. That's what I'm saying. None of that 2%. Give him that whole milk.
You need the whole thing.
Marcus Freeman need a whole gallon of that whole milk for this bad rally right here. Listen, Notre Dame so far, there's been things I'm impressed with. Audric Esteem. Hot damn, you leading the country. Like, I don't think anybody saw this coming. People were thinking the Michigan boys. People were thinking the Penn State boys were going to be leading the country. Braylon Allen, right? No. Audric Esteem said, you can hold my coffee, my friend. I'm going to show you how it's done. I think it's almost 700 yards on the ground rushing. Unbelievable. All right. Sammy Hartman came out like a ball of fire playing against Fall River Falcons, Virginia Vocational Technical High School. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look hot. But when he had to play the big dogs, he looked like pedestrian Sammy, like it was the Beatles crossing the street in that epic photo. Who we getting in this one? Because he wants to be pedestrian Sammy, in his chinos, wearing his loafers. It's going to be a long afternoon for Sammy Hartman. That defense, though, I've been impressed. I feel like them linebackers for days for Notre Dame. They just everyone in the linebackers on that side of the ball, absolutely dogs, right? They just fly around. They can play in all phases of the game. They can cover. They can get in the box. They can get down low. They can wreak havoc in the backfield. So for me, it's been very impressive to see a linebacker room. You got Kaiser, Bertrand, and then my guy Maurice. I always mess up his last name.
Leofau. Yeah.
Leofau. Mm-hmm. To me, I think he's kind of like the silent MVP of that linebacker room. And then the secondary, like I wasn't sold on him, but he's been kind of just doing his thing. Was Williams? I'm pretty sure it's Williams, Benjamin Morris. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Benjamin Morris. He's everywhere. I was like, I wasn't big on Kyle Hamilton coming out. I love him now, but I had questions about him then. And I thought this guy was going to kind of be like the same thing. He's proven me wrong already. So I've been surprised. Marcus Freeman surprised me. But again, you look good coaching against, Division III.
Right.
Now we're going against the big guns. And you and I have both seen Mr. Freeman go to sleep in the big one. So let's see if he's got some extra, caffeine for this one and shows up with a better game plan.
It's no way that, even at the grade school level, you play cornerback, I play cornerback, you were a kick returner, I were a kick returner. What do you do when you're back there? You count. How many players on the field? Why isn't your safety or your middle linebacker counting how many players on the field? Damn, get a penalty for having 13 people on the field. 10 people on the field,
No, twice.
Come on, man.
The thing is somebody asked me, and I believe it was either you or Dina, who was more responsible for it.
Yeah, it was
coaching,
me.
Coaching. Like
Even
every
more coaching.
the head coach, the offensive line, the coordinator, the secondaries coach, because everybody knows those safeties are the last line of defense. So that's what they just, he ain't covering the dude. We only got 10 man. Like, bring him in. That's what they're made to do. They don't wear green dots. You know what I'm saying, in college, but we all know that the guy who plays the mic or whatever, the jack position, whatever one you want to call, he's the dude calling out the plays, being the guy. They count. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be in charge of how many guys on the field. And if they don't know that, that's even more worse for coaching aspect of it. You guys suck at your job. You could have. It was the biggest game of your life, and you sat in your hands. I can't. That doesn't sit well with me. Like that. Even if you found a way to somehow make it in the end, you don't deserve it.
I have to agree 100%. Let's move over to Louisville. They got a success rate of 51%. That is damn good. For those of y'all who don't know, success rate is when you get half of the yards on first down, you get 70% of the yards on second down, and third or fourth down, you get all of the yardage. 51% is damn good. Offensive coordinator Brian Brom is doing a damn good job as far as keeping things balanced. 34% defensively. That tells me that on both offense and defense, Louisville is doing what they're supposed to do to be best on down the distance, offensively and defensively. I've been high on Jawar Jordan and Louisville before the season started, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. Nino, what have you seen from this Cardinals team so far this season?
The determination, swagger, no egos, man. It really, like, using Jawar off the rip, right? The first two games, I remember me and you, mid-game being, I don't understand why this kid's not getting the ball. He's averaging 9 yards per carry. He just took 175 yards to the house. They couldn't even touch him. He broke 6 tackles. Like, why is he not getting the ball? Never complained. Never fell off the script. Like, okay, just when you give me the rock, I'm going to capitalize on my opportunities. And if I feel like Plummer, did anybody know Plummer before this game? What is he, top 5 in the country in yards?
Yes.
In QB rating? Like,
out of this world.
Expectations. Everybody is playing above and beyond what people thought. Well, maybe we just thought a little wrong. Did you say it's Brian Brom is OC? So keeping it in the family?
Yeah, they're keeping it in the family. Jeff Brom, head coach, Brian Brom, offensive coordinator.
I don't know if I could work with somebody that was that close.
No.
I love you like a brother, my man. But I don't know if me and you could coach a team.
No.
Just the way we...
we'll be scrapping, bro.
Exactly. Kudos to them to be able to do that, because that ain't easy. And we have to put a winning product on the field.
And my job is on the line if you don't do your job.
Exactly. I wasn't aware of that. I'm all in on that, bro. That puts my expectations and my respect for them tweaked up a little bit more.
Hell yeah. For sure. So, what players should we be watching, both offensively and defensively for both teams?
Bro, if you haven't watched him, you should watch him in this one. Jack Plummer's a guy.
Yeah.
Like, he just gets it done. Like 65% completion. I know he's got 6 picks, but he got 11 touchdowns, 10.7 yards per attempt. My man ain't scared to chuck the ball around. Well, you mentioned Jordan, that's been your guy. And when Moon said Torrey Horton about Colorado State, I tell everybody, he hit the portal, this dude transferred. Jamari Thrash.
Oh, yeah.
Give him the crown. He's got to be the Yak King, right? If not, he's got to be top 3. My man just gets everything. 20.2 yards per catch, 444 yards on the year, 5 touchdowns. Like, he's the guy, all right? And that's on 22 receptions. So those are the 2 guys on offense for me. Defensively, TJ Quinn, 33 tackles total on the year. My man, is a disruptor. Everything he does is just causing havoc back there. And he can play coverage. He's got a pass defense on it. He can drop back a little bit. Devin Neal, he's got 3 pass defenses, and Quinn Riley got 5. So between the 2 of them in the secondary, they got 8 and 2 picks. I think this is going to be big for them because they're going to have to take care of these speedy young receivers.
It's interesting, while you were talking, I was thinking, I was like, if you look at this Louisville team now, You look at that Purdue team last year. Aiden O'Connell.
Yep.
You know, Plummer. You looking at
Okay.
Devin McAbee, Jawar Jordan. Look at Thrash. You look at your boy that you named, Charlie Sizzle Jones, and it's looking for. What do you think about that?
I just think how he's plug and played his own pots, right? And had success. My man knows his scheme, plugs and plays, and does his thing, and has success. I'm liking it. I really am. Like I said to you, like this one isn't the litmus test me because I clip it, put it on the Twitter like Baker says. You can put that one on the Twitter. I think Notre Dame's overrated.
Talk to me though.
You know what I mean? Oh, you ain't gonna make it into the college football playoff with one loss. Who says they only got one loss? They might have two at the end of this one. And if Louisville wins this one, they just getting putting more fire into the ball and throwing downhill to the other games that really matter. Not really so much this one. This one just puts them on everybody else's eye level, right? They win this one. Everybody's looking at them for the casuals.
Yeah, what we already know.
We knew it was, and now everybody will kind of know. Yeah. And then we'll see, are they real or are they, like, this isn't are they real or not? Because I don't think Notre Dame's real. I don't think Marcus Freeman is real.
Oof.
I'm sorry. Sammy Hartman got numbers. I don't know if Sammy Hartman's real. All right, because in big games, Sammy Hartman tends to Homer Simpson meme into the bushes.
Facts.
All right, like. Yeah, great game against Tennessee State. Cool. It's Tennessee State. You had a great game against North Carolina State. Cool. It's North Carolina State. Great game against Central Michigan. Central Michigan. Oh, the Buckeyes. That was Pedestrian Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Another ranked team, Duke. That was Pedestrian Sam. So if I go by what I'm seeing, ranked teams, we get Pedestrian Sam. Louisville's ranked 25. USC's ranked 9. Are they going to be able to get out of these games with dubs? And they might get out of them with dubs, but is it going to be Pedestrian Sam again? So then my theory of them being overrated really isn't too far-fetched, right? Because I have a funny feeling, USC's coming to South Bend, game of the ages. Not when it's 50-20. Not when it's over at halftime and Caleb's already got 5 touchdowns and you're seeing Malachi Nelson in the game in the fourth quarter against Notre Dame. Who cares at that point, right? It's not the game of the century anymore. No. It's the game of the century when Louisville puts up 45 on the week prior, right? It's not the game of the century. We all know Marcus Freeman can fall on his face. Done it many times. Outside that Clemson game, has Sammy Hartman ever stepped up to the plate and flexed?
No.
That first game, boy, he looked great against Navy, right? Woo! But it's Navy.
It's Navy.
Yeah, Tennessee State. Woo! Looking good. But it's Tennessee State. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You guys know where I'm going.
No, the beauty in this all is that Nino gave you a fantastic take. I think it's a very accurate take. Some Fighting Irish fans may not like it, but if you listen and you really think about it, he's not wrong. What are the keys to victory for the Fighting Irish?
The same exact keys to victory it is for Louisville.
Ooh.
Because they are mirror teams. If you look at it, run game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Physical runner, you got a fast runner. You got a quarterback who can throw the ball deep. You got wide receivers that can take the top off the ball, and you got a wide receiver that can play down low. Both teams really don't have tight end play, right? This is like the first year in a while Notre Dame hasn't had tight end. Really don't have tight end play. Defensively, front seven puts up a lot of pressure. Front seven, Louisville puts up a lot of pressure. And the back end, they got a guy that can roam everywhere, can play in the box. Louisville, the back end, they got a guy. Play everywhere, play down in the box. The schemes are the same. It's a very mirrored game. Who's going to be the man in the mirror? Is it Plummer? or is it Hotman? For me, I think the youth wins in this one. I think Plummer looks better in the mirror.
Wow. The Cardinals, 6.5 dogs coming into this game. The over-under is 54. You already told us who will win, but why will Louisville win?
Louisville's going to win because I don't think people are ready for them. I don't think people are giving them enough credit. And by the time Notre Dame realizes what they can do, and they can do the same things that they can do, I think they might be too late, and you might be down 14-0. Because between Thrash and Jordan, they can score in the blink of an eye. Thrash has 75, 80-yard touchdowns already this year. Jordan's got 80 and 90-yard touchdowns this year. They only take 8 seconds.
That's it.
They can score in bunches. And they have good special teams. Don't let the special teams get them in good field position off the rip. It could be a long afternoon. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Plummer is Caleb Williams 2.0.
Right.
But he's looked good. Yes, he's made mistakes. Like I said, he's got 6 picks on the year. But if he doesn't let this rattle him and he can maintain composure and play well, the pieces around him are there. The game plan, the coaching is there. And I think he can sit there and do it with Sammy Hartman. I'm not saying Sammy Hartman is trash, but we all saw something special, the shiny new toy, against teams that were, and we were like, oh, Sammy Hartman. But when I go back and look at things, what I saw in the beginning game when Sammy Hartman was throwing to receivers before breaks, using great anticipation, right? Throwing to a spot, not throwing to where the receiver is. I'm not seeing that lately. He didn't have that in Ohio State. Okay, he was kind of late on a couple throws, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he was.
So I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of like junior year Sammy Hartman at Wake. I want to see those first couple games at Notre Dame where they were giving you a full playbook, giving you the weapons, and you were seeing Sammy Hartman at his finest. That we need in this game. People are underestimating Louisville. Don't underestimate Louisville.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was kind of thinking, what do our friends out west know that we don't know? Because coming into this game, I've had Louisville in every game they played this year. Like I mentioned earlier, there was a couple halves that just didn't play good football.
In the end, they got it. They got
right.
it together.
They got it together, and they got the W, and that's all that matters. But this is a damn good team. Nino, any final words?
Cardinals about to shock the world. I know for me, Notre Dame's not high on my list of teams. But every year, Notre Dame is a team that most people
prestige.
Like to see do well. They're prestige. They've been around forever. Rudy, the Joe, the whole rigmarole. I don't hate the Fighting Irish. I'm not a Marcus Freeman guy. I love Sam, but I'm seeing Sammy's pulling out a Two-Face McGee on me. I'm getting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with Sam this year. I want to see one solid performance. This is the one where I think Sammy's got to put his boots on and tighten them up. I want to see that from Dylan Gabriel. I think we got to see the same thing with Sammy Hartman in this one.
I love it. This is Overreaction Previews. We are live every Monday for Overreaction Live Monday, where we recap the biggest games from the weekend. You guys make sure you guys check that out. We're typically live by 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all have a good one. Enjoy your college football weekend. And remember, don't rush this season. It's way too short. We love talking about the college football playoff. We love talking about bowl games and coaching carousel and all that. Just allow that to happen when the time comes. Be blessed, everyone.